Hey guys, what's going on? I know I haven't posted in a while. I've been, busy, but also just feeling down with all this stuff going on. And if you click this, it's probably a little bit different than most of my other content. Obviously, I try to focus on real estate and investing and provide information for people. And I just got to talk about this. I just have been generally down because of this George Floyd thing, and actually, I just had an incident that really kind of sparked me to actually create a video, and maybe talk about my channel and my intention. Um, this country has never dealt with the original sin of slavery and Jim Crow and basically the suppression of Africans in America. And I, I even hesitate to do this because, you know, I want to help everybody and I want to help working class people. I don't think wealth and ownership should be relegated to one part of society. And I think that goes even more for black people because there's a deficit of information. There's a deficit of networking of people in real estate. There's a deficit of representation in media. I mean, I've had people say that they clicked on my video because I'm the first black face that they saw as far as real estate. The recent incident that just happened to me personally just made me say, screw it, let's talk about it. And I've always wanted to talk about these topics. So the incident I'm referring to is basically I listed one of my personal properties that I'm renting in the town that I live in. I own another property in my town. And I had it for rent on Facebook Marketplace. I didn't want to put it on the MLS because I wasn't offering commission and I can handle leasing out my own property. Like any rental, I got a ton of activity. I had a bunch of people messaging me, probably at least 30 or 40 people. I had two open houses where I allow everyone to come look at the property, and then I have an online application and screening process that I do. Someone sent me a text message. Actually, let me just read the message. I'm going to read the whole conversation with this person. Hi, Ryan. Are you the guy that is renting the house on my street? Let me know. My name is Sonja. I said, yes. Can you show it to me? I said, I'm not showing right now. We have a lot of applications. So basically, I had a ton of applications. I already had like 3 qualified people. So I didn't want to show the property because I already had a tenant in the property and I didn't want to disrupt her life anymore. She ended up moving out early because she was in the military and I wanted to, not hold her deposit. So I wanted to get another person rent it so that I wouldn't have a lot of vacancy. All right. Then she said, then why are you still advertising? I asked you if you were the one renting the house out and you said yes. And now you talking about you're not renting it out anymore. You don't make no sense. I'm going to complain the MLS about you, you rude. First of all, not listed on the MLS, but obviously this person knows something because they know what the MLS is. All right, so I just said, have a nice day, because at this point, whatever. People are mad. I get it. But actually, in the listing, I changed the listing to pending. So to kind of alleviate this. And I changed it to pending before I got this message. She said, you too expect to hear from MLS, you liar. Something tells me you piss people off all the time. Now I'm like, all right, well, I'm just going to play with this person a little bit. So I said, LOL, have a nice day, Sonja, heart emoji. Then she says, don't put in heart in a message to me unless you want my boyfriend to visit you. And believe me, you're a tiny guy compared to him. So I advise you to keep your manner. I did the haha emote on the iPhone. And then the next message, which came much later. So I got these messages at 8:30 a.m. And then at 5 p.m. randomly, I get this message. while I'm in a school board meeting, which I'm on my local school board. No matter what you do, you will never succeed in this business because you are a nigger and you'll never be invited into the real world of real estate. So you think about that every time you look in the mirror. You, like your mom and dad before you, nothing but niggers. So, that's what we're dealing with here. And that's why I'm making this video, because I've been feeling down because I feel like, this has been a problem forever. This is not the first time I've dealt with something like that, and it won't be the last time. I have a lot of things to say about it. First, I want to say that a big part of my channel, or part of my mission, is to show people who otherwise think that real estate is inaccessible, because we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars of properties and stuff like that. I mean, I think a lot of people just don't think it's even possible to own real estate, especially in the Black community. And I want to provide an example of that to people, because I think through wealth and ownership, we can change the dynamic, right? So that lady's calling me a nigger, right? But the reason why it's not as hurtful maybe is because racism without power isn't that relevant. So, for example, she can't do anything. She's trying to rent my property. She's actually trying to give me money. So, it's different than if I was trying to live somewhere and rent a property, and they said something like that to me, or they just didn't rent to me, which happens all the time. That's a different power dynamic, and that type of racism is really hurtful and really damaging, because we're living in a society where your life is negatively impacted in a tangible way, where there's barriers and blockades that you got to get around. Now, in this dynamic, when I am the owner, I'm the powerful party in that situation. And so she can be as mad as she wants to be, but at the end of the day, it doesn't affect me, right? It doesn't matter. That's why reverse racism is a dumb concept, because the people with no power being racist doesn't do nearly as much as people with power to dictate over your life. And so in this weird situation, I'm the person in power, and she is asking me for something. And so that dynamic is so very different. And I think by owning things, as in the Black community, that is how we can avoid the pain and destruction and just the hate of racism, because her saying that doesn't affect my life at all, but if she was the landlord and she held those views, which most people hold these views and just don't say it, she just said it, and so you'll just be treated unfairly. So that's why I try to show you guys what I'm doing, and create an example and show that a regular person, I'm not some millionaire or anything, not yet. And, I'm just a regular person like everybody else. And I think more images of that is helpful. And if I can help some people, some Black people, let's be specific. I know, we're so scared to talk about race. It's crazy. And I'm scared because I feel like my white audience which is probably mostly white at this point, would be turned off if you even say the word Black or talk about race at all. But it is what it is. My objective is to show Black people that we can invest in real estate. We can own things. And even if you're not an investor, you can make smart financial decisions and at least own your own property. And that's one of the intangible benefits of being an owner, is having control. If I didn't own the property, that power dynamic is so much different. So I really want to stress that. But yeah, I also want to talk about why, and this goes back to why I really haven't been making a lot of content. I just been feeling so negative, and my mind is clouded with so much toxicity. I'm seeing the protest, and I'm paying too much attention to Facebook. The comments are awful. There's, all kinds of awful things going on right now, and it's just like overwhelming. And I handle this stuff very well. Like normally I don't care, but it's been too much, you know. And I'm gonna try to, get my content going back on, but I just haven't been feeling it. Look, I've dealt with depression my whole life, and that sounds dramatic, right? But what it is for me is that it's like a demon inside of yourself or something, and or a pitfall. And so if I allow myself to get too depressed, then it gets really bad where I'm not able to function anymore. And so when I feel that coming, I have to do things to avoid, like jump start myself out of that situation, or it can get really bad. So that's what I've been kind of dealing with lately is just fighting off being depressed, and it's just difficult with what's going on, and I don't know the solution. But I figured this incident is a good moment to unleash some of the concepts that I've been thinking about a lot. I've never really explained my mission on the channel. I've never, I think people get it just by how I talk and what I'm saying, but I never overtly said kind of what I'm trying to do here. And so, yeah, man, I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I'm going to try to get more content. I have some things cooking, and I am curious what other people's experiences have been as far as race in real estate. I'd really like to hear you guys' stories. So put them in the comments. And, I read all my comments. So if you put it in there, I read it and respond right now because, we only have 1,700 subs. So I can do that right now. So that's it, guys. I really appreciate you guys. See you.